Greetings. All right, so what we've got here is a set of pucks. I got a set of these. They're all of the reverse retros. So what's really fun with these is that you have the reverse retro on one side and the regular logo on the other. Now, the reason that I have this out here, first off, my wife bought me this fantastic display, not this past Christmas, but Christmas a year before that. There really hasn't been any room on the wall to put it up. So it's been in the room. It's been here. I have this set of pucks. I also have a set of pucks that's all the NHL mascots. So there's 30 of them and the Rangers who don't have a mascot. I also have a set of pucks they're called the Stitch pucks. So it looks like they've got like jersey fabric on them. They don't, but that's the way they look. And then I got a new set this week as well, which is large logos with the team name on them as well. And they'll be very clear on camera. The eventual plan is that I would use these for power rankings. And I tried last year, and of course, it just, we won't get into that. But yeah, power rankings with this, I think, can work because you can see which team is where and that kind of thing. But I don't think the display case works. So the thought process I have with this is really quite simple. I have a vision of what I want it to look like, but I don't have like all the woodworking tools I'd need to make it work. Plus, we are currently in the midst of surging numbers, so it's not like I can have people over and I can have discussions with people and all of that. But it's like, I know I want it to be like basically the same size as the boards that I use, my regular like 3-foot by 2-foot boards that I use. But I want it to be so that I have the pucks. So I'd have the 31 pucks like this, right? This has room for 40. Yvonne was very certain. She made certain that she had enough for more than, what was needed, knowing there were 31 and there were going to be 32 teams in the league. And the other sets that I have 32 pucks in both the set I got this week and 32 pucks in the other set that has the Stitch on it. And so they're all set for Seattle too. So the plan would be then next year I would use pucks. I wouldn't use the boards that I've been using. I would have this, and then every week I can change out which set of pucks I'm using. That's why I've been getting them, because I'm like, you know what, that's a really kind of a fun way to present things. It's a very Canadian way to present things. And I remember I watched Happy Gilmore years and years back, decades ago, right? And he pulls the puck out of his pocket, and Virginia goes, "You always carry a puck around?" And he goes, "Yeah." Like it, and his response kind of being like, "Don't you?" And I remember I laughed pretty hard at that because I always had hockey stuff with me, whether I was wearing hockey stuff or, I might bring my stick places just in case we're going to play street hockey somewhere or whatever. So that's the issue I have, is that I've got it in my mind where, like, I've found puck shelves that you can hang on the wall that hold like 5. And I've thought, if I had like 6 of those shelves, well, 7, because that has to be 32 teams starting next year, I could make it work, but I'd have to glue them onto or make something to hold onto them. And then this has to be able to hold it. So this is the only easel that I trust to hold these pucks, because this is glass, right? So I don't want to be doing a video, and as entertaining and as viral as that video might be of me dropping it and this glass door breaking, I really don't like the idea of it breaking, because I know, my wife put some time into getting this for me, and it was not easy for her to get this into the house without me finding out. It's one thing, like, with us both working from home and working together, like, basically, it's my card that's used for everything. So there was something she bought a couple weeks ago, and she goes, "Now I can't tell you what I bought." And I'm like, "Unless I check my bank statement." She's like, "Oh, don't do that." Like, so I bought it for myself, but you bought it, and it's fine. And again, when you're working from home, I guess that's probably pretty common, right? So and she knows what I like anyways, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, I want to do something like this. I've talked about using stickers and hockey cards and stuff. The problem is they don't really show up that well on camera. So while I enjoy doing card videos here and there, and once we get into the playoffs, I'll be able to do some card videos, some of the more relaxed stuff. And I have to say too, while I'm doing this more casual video, the amount of doom scrolling that's going on right now with social media, it's just, anyways, it's it's insane. There are people that I like, people that I care about, that I want to message and say, look, maybe take a few days and don't be on the social media. Maybe just take a few days, find a place and have a nice walk, maybe go for a bike ride, maybe just just relax a little bit. Because again, it's been a stressful 13 months, and it's important to have those breaks. It's coming from a guy who hasn't taken a day off from making videos in over 4 years. So I get it. And people will be like, oh, you should take a break. And no. So the funny one, of course, to me out of these pucks. So some of these are really fun. So there's the reverse retro Islanders, and there's the regular. Reverse retro and the regular. Which to me is absolutely hilarious. And of course, the Space Coyote, which is my favorite. But I think it would be fun to do this because it's and one of the reasons I really like this set is because you have two sets for the price of one, basically, right? So one week I could use these ones, the other week I could use these ones. The problem is they put the NHL reflector thing on the back here, and I know from experience if you tear these off, sometimes it'll take some of the paint off the puck. So, and with pucks you do have to be careful with that. They do tend to get dinged up relatively easily. So, so I kind of know what I want. I kind of know how I want it to look. I've seen, obviously I've got this really nice display. It'd be great if I had a spot on the wall, but I don't have a room that's big enough yet. The day will come where I do, but for right now I don't. And so this basically sits right by the door to this room. And it sits with these pucks in it. But I would love to be able to rotate out which pucks are in. Because again, it's low tech, but it's kind of fun. And I just looking at the screen right now, you can see which team is where. So if this was your power rankings, first off, Buffalo and Ottawa being the first two, that's fantastic. But yeah, I think this could work. But it's a matter of, with the door right here. And then what I've been doing this year too, where I have the divisions, where I have the little mini pennants for the divisions. And during a regular power rankings season, I would have the 1 through 31 here. And then off to the side, I have all the other statistics, which this year don't make any sense because it's all divisional play. So a lot of it just kind of falls by the wayside. But I think if I had the pucks over on the left-hand side, and then I had like the statistics off to the right-hand side and some way of doing all that. So if I could combine this with a whiteboard, that'd be great. and next year I'll go back to the 4 foot by 2 foot. That's what I'm hoping to do, but I'm hoping to be able to use pucks for that. And I can't tape them to the board because that'll make the board really heavy and it'll just fall forward. And then, again, the video may go viral, but I don't think if I'm smashing a board once a week, it's going to make a lot of sense. That means that because the 4 foot by 2 foot board's only like $70, $60 or $70. So I'm probably not making much of a profit if I'm smashing a board every week. And environmentally, that sounds like a really bad way of doing business. So, I'm just really curious about how I'm going to make this work. So I'm posting a video because I'm not sure how I'm going to make this work. I just know that I have all these really cool pucks, and I've had people say, hey, you should show your puck collection. There's 4 sets. There's 4 sets, and then there's all the other fun ones too. And I could definitely do a power rankings where I have all of like the autographed pucks and all the other fun pucks I've got from like the Canucks store. People have sent me from San Jose. I've got some fun ones for Boston and other teams, and it would really make something different out of the power rankings. I try to do that with the magnets too, but those magnets I can use for reviews and previews. While I've got people's attention, the other thing that I've been thinking about is Sundays. Sundays, when there's games during the day and I review a single game, I've noticed that the view counts are just really low on that. And I'm starting to think maybe I'm better off just to have one review at the end of the day and just do other videos during the day. But again, feedback is welcome on this video. I'd be interested to know what you guys think. And I'm basically trying to create something that doesn't exist for using pucks for power rankings, and having it basically on I don't know how to make it work. It's been in my head. I've had this idea for well over a year. It's been a year and a half. I've got hundreds of pucks, and I really, really want to make this work because I know it could be really fun. Like, for instance, if a team's moving up, I'd use the reverse retro, and if they're moving down, I could use the regular jersey. Like, stuff like that, right? Or vice versa. Or a team's, got a really good past. They're playing very well. I could have the reverse retro because they're playing very well like they used to. Or, they're really good right now, but they're not playing well. Anyways, there's all kinds of different ways to do it. You guys know I'll overthink it. And, yeah. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always, about how to make this work. And, yeah, because I think it'd be a really fun way to do power rankings. And yeah, so I've got two sets that are all in cases, and I've thought about ways to make it so I've got the cases all side by side and stacked up, but I don't know a way to do that where the stack will actually be stable. That's the other problem, is that if they're all stacked up, how do I make it so that stack is stable? Because again, it's the same thing. And here's number one, Buffalo, and then the whole thing just falls over. Which, of course, Buffalo fans will go, well, if we're number one in the power rankings, of course the whole thing's going to fall apart. But again, it's one of those things that's just, it's been in my brain. So since we're in between the second and third period of the Ottawa-Edmonton game, I thought, and I am doing a board just strictly for that game, and I'll do a review for that one as soon as I can once the other ones get started. But it's just one of those things that's been on my mind today. So let me know your thoughts. There is green on this jersey. There's green on this hat. So I'm still sticking to the green shirt day theme. There's green right there. So, and I thought Whalers, why not? Because there's the reverse retro Whalers puck right here, which of course is Carolina on the other side. And I'm sure that triggers some old Hartford fans, just as this Quebec Nordiques and Colorado Avalanche. And I can't wait for the day when we have one that has Winnipeg Jets on one side and Thrashers on the other. That's got to happen at some point. I may be making some new Thrasher magnets soon. So at some point I'll be using Thrasher magnets because they're fun. It's fun. It's fun to have, stuff from the past on the board as well, because otherwise it all just kind of looks the same. I don't like that. All right. So yeah, let me know what your suggestions are. The email address for the channel, the Hockey Guy one that's in the description for all the videos. I also changed my handle on Twitter, so I made sure that I updated that. Somebody messaged me and I saw the message and I went, yeah, all right, I gotta change that because I changed my handle. I had to make it a little more like, YouTube-ish than the old one was. So yeah, thank you guys so much for all your support. It means a lot. And yeah, I do try to keep updating things, whether it's the pictures and the stuff you see in the background, or whether it's stuff like pucks, or making sure I have the new jerseys when they come out and stuff. Just, I don't know, it's just that kind of thing where I'm like, you know what, I don't have the green screens and all the fancy editing and all the fancy schmancy Photoshop look and stuff. I don't have all the fancy thumbnails and all that. So and hey, why not go with pucks? All right, let me know your thoughts. Again, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through and you're wondering, what is this video even about? Right, exactly. So there you go. Thank you guys so much, though, for all your support. It's a kind of a rainy day here, but it's still, it's one of those things where I do need to hop on my new bike and go out and ride it around a bit, because I really haven't had the chance yet, and it's kind of been, because it's April, I need to be out and riding the bike around and stuff. So anyways, maybe I'll get some time tomorrow, maybe. All right, thank you guys so much for all your support. As always, it means a lot, and hey, I'll talk to you again soon.